Look at the peak of global football, and you'll find a single player standing alongside 47 professional trophies. You'll also find a record 8 Ballon d'Or awards, the sport's highest individual honor. But the architect of this empire once described his rise with a specific timeline. He said, quote, "It took me 17 years and 114 days to become an overnight success." While it's easy to credit his legacy to pure innate genius, the reality is more labor-intensive. His career was a methodical demolition of one barrier after another, turning every structural disadvantage into a tactical win. The first barrier appeared back in the year 2000 in Rosario, Argentina. As a child phenom scoring hundreds of goals for his local youth club, he was diagnosed with a severe growth hormone deficiency. His small stature, combined with the steep cost of his medical treatments, made local teams hesitate to sign him. Desperate to secure both his development on the pitch and the medical care he needed off it, a 13-year-old crossed the Atlantic to try out for FC Barcelona's La Masia Academy. The club's technical director, Carlos Rexach, recognized the raw potential immediately. Terrified of losing the boy to rival European clubs, Rexach drafted an impromptu agreement on the only paper available, a tennis club napkin. Securing that contract solved his immediate medical crisis. It also proved early on that biological disadvantages could be conquered by technical dedication and perseverance. Over the next 2 decades, that investment yielded a massive return. He built an empire in Spain, delivering 4 Champions League titles and scoring 672 goals. He became the heartbeat of the team, capable of dismantling entire defensive lines on his own. But in the summer of 2021, he hit a wall he couldn't dribble past. Despite offering to take a massive pay cut and explicitly stating he wanted to stay, he was forced out of the club. The collapse had nothing to do with his performance. It was the result of years of financial mismanagement and corporate scandals under club president Josep Maria Bartomeu. This chart outlines the financial damage. After a €487 million seasonal loss, La Liga regulations forced Barcelona's spending budget to plummet from over $600 million down to less than $100 million. Retaining their star player became mathematically impossible. The club's all-time top scorer was suddenly a free agent. It was a corporate failure that abruptly severed a 21-year relationship, forcing the world's top player to rebuild his career in a completely new environment. Even as he searched for a new club, a larger historical trial loomed over him. In Argentina, he was constantly measured against the legacy of a national hero, Diego Maradona. These radar charts track the raw data. The modern forward's output in goals, assists, and trophies dominates Maradona's base numbers. But Maradona played in a brutal, under-regulated era. Applying an 18% physicality premium for the tackles he endured narrows the statistical gap. To answer the pressure, he needed to deliver on the international stage. In 2022, pushing past years of tournament heartbreaks, he led Argentina to the final in Qatar. He scored 7 goals across the tournament and secured the one piece of hardware that Maradona loyalists had always held over him. Capturing the World Cup neutralized the final cultural and statistical arguments against him. He transitioned from a modern phenomenon to the historical greatest of all time. By the summer of 2023, he arrived in the United States. Many global observers dismissed the move as a transition into a retirement circuit to quietly wind down his playing days. At 38 years old, he faced doubts about his ability to endure the travel demands and stay dominant in a highly physical, emerging league. Then, he actually took the pitch. His presence elevated the structural chemistry and tactical flexibility of his new team. This graph tracks the on-field devastation. He led the club to a supporter shield and an MLS Cup, shattering the all-time regular season record with 74 points. And when we examine the financial data, the impact is even larger. The franchise experienced a 260% revenue surge, pushing the club's valuation to $1.35 billion. Ultimately, these 47 trophies represent a cumulative record of a career spent systematically dismantling every physical, institutional, and historical barrier placed in his way. He stands alone at the top, not because the path was easy, but because he refused to let the path be blocked.